This is the required attire of eradicating poison ivy.
This is so when I walk through it, I can just treat my boots with alcohol and not...
It is bright this morning. Good morning! Welcome to our channel. My name is Crystal, and that's Steve. And we are out here on this gorgeous Sunday morning eradicating poison ivy. It's awful around here. It's everywhere. Steve has been working tirelessly the past 6 years to try and get rid of it. And he's done a really good job. It's just that the more land we clear, the more we find. So in this video, we're just gonna talk about what poison ivy looks like, what we do to treat it, and all the different places that we have found it, including around our mailbox on the road. Right now, Steve is using the only type of synthetic weed killer that we use on this property is only for the poison ivy.
I'm using the Ortho Ground Clear Poison Ivy and Tough Brush Killer. 4 ounces to every gallon. The only thing I don't like is the cap is only 3 ounces. I only use it to kill the poison ivy. This brand that I use takes a while to work, so if you want instant results that only kills the leaves, then go with something else. I've noticed this one actually starts working on the roots.
When I use stuff in the garden, like just vinegar, salt, and a little bit of dish soap, that only kills the leaves and the poison ivy, and we need the vine and the whole plant to die. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what the poison ivy looks like around here.
It looks like a glove with a thumb.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to tell, because we have a lot of weeds with 3 leaves, but I always look for the glove look on it. You'll be able to see from shots of what the poison ivy looks like.
We'll go show you what we find here, and I know I have pictures. Over here is where we recently planted some apple trees. You can check out that video. Hopefully it will be posted by the time this goes up. If you are allergic to it, I get a horrible reaction, and last year I even had to go to the doctor and get steroids, an allergy pill, just to get rid of it. And that was in the winter time almost, I think. I feel like even though there's not leaves on the vine, you can still get a reaction. I have had a couple instances of where I get it on my arms. There's like a small spot of reaction. I just put a little bit of calamine lotion and a very small band-aid, and I keep it covered so that I'm not tempted to itch it, break the skin or anything. What I normally do if I'm working outside, I actually keep the Dawn Gentle Clean dish soap in our shower, and I use it to scrub my arms and my hands, and if I'm wearing flip-flops, I'll scrub my feet. So anywhere that possibly could have had contact with the oil on the vine. We also keep the Dawn dish soap by the sink, and we wash our hands with that periodically if I feel like when I was working on the chicken coop, if I felt like I possibly touched some poison ivy over there, because there was a lot, I would go in and quickly wash my hands and arms with the blue Dawn dish soap. Why the Dawn dish soap works is because it breaks up grease. So the oil from the poison ivy vine, normal soap might not break through that, but the Dawn dish soap will. So the other thing about poison ivy is you never want to burn the vines. You know, we have a huge brush pile over here, and we have to make sure that there's no poison ivy in it, because when you burn it, the smoke can cause severe respiratory problems where you might have to go to the hospital. So you don't want to burn poison ivy ever. Right here is an excellent example of the different stages of poison ivy. It is one plant, and it has the very young leaves right here. Focus. It's the very young leaves right there, and then the shinier leaves here, and then the mature leaves here. You can see the old vines going all the way up, Now poison ivy vines, I always stay clear of the hairy vines. They're like these red hairs that come off of these vines, and that is a good indication that it is poison ivy. Steve recently had to take some vines off of the stumps near the garden where I had recently expanded, and they were so old and dry that when he went to rip the vine off, it actually just kind of fell apart. Here, I'll show you over here. So this is where he had taken the vine down, and there's still some hairs there. They're breaking off as we get rain. I for sure don't want that in my garden. Let's go over and see the chickens. This tree had very large poison ivy vine going up it, had poison ivy all around it. There is still some over here that Steve will be spraying today, but he has sprayed over here many times. We try and keep it out of the chicken run area, but we don't mess around with the poison ivy. Now, what he does after he sprays it and it dies is he will go around with gloves and actually rip it out of the ground. This whole section last year, Steve had to come out and he completely covered himself as if he worked in a nuclear reactor and ripped out all the vines.
I sprayed this last weekend, and as you can see, it takes a while to work, but it's killing the entire vine.
For sure, another motivation to get some goats is that they eat poison ivy, and we won't have to use synthetic weed killers to get rid of it anymore, which would be wonderful. So we hope to get goats hopefully next year. Would be fun, but we want to build a barn and things, and we're in the process of planning out a home renovation. The barn is kind of going to get pushed back a little bit.
All right, so going after walking through poison ivy areas, I'm going to spray rubbing alcohol on boots to try and prevent any oil from sticking to them. Makes it less likely to transfer and stick to whatever you touch with it.
But that'll do it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.